So I have a confession to make, guys. The other night after one or several too many, who's counting, I did something, guys, that I am absolutely embarrassed by, and I promised myself I would never, ever do. A ladyboy. I knew it. Doc, we all knew it. Ladyboy? No, actually, that wouldn't be as bad. Oh, hell no. I, like an idiot, went on TikTok and responded to a Thai TikToker influencer guy that lives here on Phuket about the cost of partying and how expensive Thailand can actually be. I promised myself I would never do this because Phuket is a very small place, and the last thing you need to do is start with another influencer, vlogger, YouTuber. Look, I know I have my issues with the guy that lives over the mountain from me. Thanks again for the Happiest Hobo moniker. But this guy actually was good about my comment. He responded with what I thought was a fantastic comeback. And it actually brought me up to making this video to talk to you guys about just how expensive it can really be to party here on Phuket or in Bangkok. Because guys, I know I talk all the time about how cheap Thailand is, but in this video, I'm gonna cover some pretty crazy prices and share some stuff with you that may or may not blow your mind. It all depends on where you're from. Listen, if you're New York, Toronto, Las Vegas, places like this, certain cities in Europe, these prices are not going to scare you. But if you are coming here on a budget and you're not going to listen to certain TikTokers who tell you to just throw the budget out the window, yeah, you will be shocked as shit when you hear how much these guys spent in one night. I want to interrupt my regular programming and just explain a couple of things to you guys. The reason why I'm inside today and not outside is we were having a crazy heat wave for the last couple of weeks, and all of a sudden today the skies opened up and it is raining like crazy outside where I'm at. So I wanted to do a video, but I didn't want to go outside. Also, why am I wearing sunglasses inside? Am I that narcissistic? Am I that much of an... No, actually what it is, guys, to be honest with you, this is now a persona with the glasses and the hat. Not only that, when I take the glasses off and I try to look into the phone, and I'm filming with my Huawei right now, I'm not sure where to look. So if I look at myself here, I know that it is all messed up when you guys are seeing my eyes. If I try to look at the camera, then I can't see myself. So I find it very confusing. That is why I have the glasses on. Why, hello there, guys, and welcome to the very first, Why, hello there, guys, and welcome to the very first, can you imagine, with Dr. Mark Sabian. Yes, Thailand's Happiest Hobo is responding and replying and giving you his thoughts on certain TikTok videos that have gone viral about Thailand. Guys, listen, I try not to respond to anything on any type of social media because, again, Phuket's a very small place and you don't want to get into arguments. However, in this video, the guy is talking about how him and some friends went out for a birthday party and how if you're coming to Thailand, you should do what they're doing and just slack off your budget, come with an open wallet, and essentially blow every single thing that you have. Because, guys, they spent over 80,000 baht in one night. Goes on about how, they went out for dinner and drinks. It was a nice meal. I'm not sure how nice of a meal it was, but the total bill for it was 19,000 baht. 19,000 baht, guys. That's $570. Holy, I can't believe that. They then go to a beach bar where they got bottle service. Now, if you know anything about bottle service, it's pretty standard anywhere in the world. Here in Thailand, it's expensive, guys. I'm going to tell you something. It's usually about 3,500 to 4,500 baht per bottle, depending on what you're getting. So they got a couple of bottles plus a bottle of champagne. Now, along with that, they also bought some beers. They also bought some shots. And here's the crazy thing about it, okay? When you're doing bottle service, you have to buy your mix. And cans of Coke are 100 baht. That same can of Coke that you can buy at 7-Eleven for 16 baht is 100 baht, guys, okay? It's almost 6.5 times the cost. So your 4,500 baht bottle of Johnny Walker, let's say, is really costing you about 6,000 or 7,000 because you have to buy a lot of Coke because the girls that are around you, that are partying with you, they're not going to drink it straight like normal people would. Oh no, they want Johnny Walker mixed with Coke. Even Johnny Walker Blue Label. Trust me guys, I've seen it. I know it's foolish, but it is what it is. So their bill at the beach bar alone was 45,000 baht. They then went to another club and spent an additional 20,000 baht. So yeah, for the night they blew over 80-some thousand baht. So in the video, he talks about how, coming here, being a cheapskate, blah, 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 blah. What is that going to get you? So my response to it was, well, what did spending 80 plus get you? And he actually had a pretty funny comment about it. He goes, well, not a whole lot, but we did have a good night. So I'm going to just flat out tell you guys, over 80,000 baht would get me, especially where I'm living right now, it would get me 3 months of living, okay? Now, obviously, I'm not living like that, but I feel like I live a fantastic life. I love my life, and I just can't imagine giving up 3 months for one night. A good way to look at this is if you look at your life as your savings, your actual life itself, would you really give up 3 whole months of living for one night that most likely, especially if you're spending that amount of money, you're really not gonna remember that much the next day? I wouldn't think anyways. I don't know. I know this much, I would not. There's nothing that I could do in a club, and they're not talking about what they did after the club, guys. They're not talking about, how much money it cost to take the girls home or anything like that. Strictly what they spent on booze and stuff that night, okay? I know I would not give up 3 months of my life for one night at no way at all. But I will show you, along with, talking about the cost of bottle service, talking about, the add-ons, just how fast it can spiral out of control on you, where you cannot imagine just how expensive it gets to drink here, okay? I know, again, like I said earlier, I talk about how cheap it is, but guys, I'm gonna tell you something. Your budget can balloon out of control and pop like that because you won't believe how expensive some of the bars here can be. Now, before I go into this too deep, I will say this much, that yes, I am a cheapskate. Apparently I am. I have no problem admitting that. And the great thing is, unlike these guys, these passport bros that are working their asses off, saving money, and then coming dumping it all here or dumping it in another country partying, I never have to work again. And I'm never going to work again, guys. That's why I would never spend money the way that these guys are spending money. I just simply wouldn't do it. I try to go to places like this. Guys, I am at the Adaman Bangtao Bay Resort. And guys, I'm gonna tell you something. If you're looking for cheap beachside beers, and when I say beachside, I mean literally beachside, this is the spot to come because, believe it or not, 50 baht for ice cold beer here. I mean, look at how beautiful that is. I'm sitting there, I'm having an ice cold beer on the beach. And again, guys, like I show in the video, it's right on the beach. And that is 50 baht, guys. Now, if I go to Bangla Road and I go into, say, New York bar, it's 150 baht of beer. And if you go to clubs like Illusion and the great big huge dance clubs there, it's up to 250, which is $7.50 for a beer. Which again, I know if you're in Vegas, New York, Toronto, all these places, that's not expensive. But man, for here, that's crazy expensive. I mean, that's 250 baht, that's 6 times what that thing costs at 7-Eleven. Again, also, your mixes and stuff like that are crazy expensive. Everything is 6 times the cost at these big clubs. And if you go to a spot like Moulin Rouge, the the Russian strip club on Bangla Road, it's 250 baht for any drink. It doesn't matter what you're getting. Even a Coke is 250 baht. So, whew, it can add up, boys, in a hurry. It will shock you how fast your bill will explode. And if you've got the girls around you and you're buying them drinks, that's, man, where it gets crazy. Because again, all of their drinks are 200 baht minimum. Most of them on Bangla Road are charging about 250. And it's not just one girl, it's usually two or three that come over. They'll be talking to you, touching you. And as soon as you interact with them, you're buying them a drink or they're getting shots. It's going on your bill. I see this all the time. And at some point, they're going to get you drunk and they're going to convince you to ring that stupid bell. And ringing the bell, guys, is 1,000 baht. What do you get out of ringing the bell? Not much, except for maybe they might give you a kiss in the cheek and then they pour out the worst little shot glass of garbage liquor and they give it to usually 10 people. If the bar is busy, they'll give it to a bunch of people. It all depends on the bar, to be honest with you. But ringing the bell, terrible waste of money. It's 30 bucks every time you do it, 1,000 baht. And they will convince you to do it, no question at all. And like an idiot, you probably will. And that's how your budget can just get blown here while you're trying to get, sorry, it was there, I had to take it. Can you go out and have an epic time here and not spend that kind of money? I certainly think you can because I've done it. I've gone out and had some incredible nights and spent no more than 15 or 1600 baht, which for me is a lot of money to spend because again, I'm going to spots where my beers are 60, 70, 80 baht, that's it. I try not to go to New York and spots like that because again, it's 150 baht. I mean, if I buy a 60 baht beer, I can get 2.5 for one. And I know for a fact that you're not having any more fun in New York than you are in the bar right across the street. And that's how it works. It's right across the street. You can hear the music, you can see the people dancing, you know, you don't have to be right inside the club. So going out and drinking here, guys, and partying all comes down to what do you want from the night? What are you hoping for? What are you looking for? What do you like to do? Now, I know some guys that like to go out and listen to music. They like getting the craft beers and stuff like that. And they're paying 250 to 350. So that's $7.50 to $10 for a bottle of beer. But you know what? It's what they enjoy to do. They're only drinking 2 or 3 of them. They're not going crazy with them and stuff like that. I do know guys that go in to the different soys going down Bangla and they sit there with the bar girls and they'll spend, 10, 12, 13,000 baht, which is about 300, 360, so that they have girls surrounding them the whole night. They get to play with them, touch them, and then they will negotiate going home with them or whatever, It all depends on what you're hoping to do as to how much money you're going to spend drinking. I guess one really good way to look at it is this, okay? If you're going to go to one of these smaller bars and you're paying, say, 80 baht for a beer, you're going to pay 200 baht for a lady drink. So if you have, let's say, 4 beers, that's 320 baht for yourself. And if you buy her, say, 3, because you're not going to buy her one all the time, but if she's there with you for 2 hours, you're definitely buying her 3 drinks, guys. That's just the way it is. So you're going to spend 600 baht on her, 300 plus on yourself. You're going to give a tip, so it's 1,000 baht just to sit there and have 4 beer. And some girl sit there and, well, you know what they do. But the end of the day comes to this. Did they get 80,000 plus, which is $2,400 US value and fun out of their night? Did they enjoy it more than the guy that sat there with some pretty girl, had a few beers himself, bought her some drinks, where he spent $30? Or are they having as much fun as I do when I go out, when I'm spending, quite honestly, maybe $12? I really don't know. At the end of the day, again, it all comes down to how much money are you willing to spend? How much money do you have to spend? And what is the economic trade-off? What is, what's the opportunity cost at the end of the day? Do you have to go back to wherever you're from and work your ass off again so that you can just come back and party like a 2-week millionaire? Or Are you able to enjoy the rest of your life, slow down, and be like me? I'm not sure. I don't know which one's better. I really don't. I know this much. The 1 or 2 nights that I have gone out with subscribers and we have gone absolutely crazy and spent, 40, 50,000 baht, which I've seen people do taking me out. I'll be honest with you. Most of the time I don't remember a whole lot of it, and I didn't have that great of a time. Just the way I feel about it, guys. So can Phuket and Bangkok be crazy expensive? Oh, yes, they can. No question at all. It all depends on you. But I will say this much. Anybody that's telling you that you should just slack off your budget, come with an open wallet, they either have a whole lot of money or they just don't understand how hard it is to earn money in this world. I personally, I couldn't do it. I would never suggest that you guys come here and do it. Listen, maybe not be as cheap as I am, because apparently I am a cheapskate, and this is what they tell me. I'm a hobo, I'm this, I'm that, but I know this much. I'm never going back to work. It is what it is, guys. So listen, until next time, keep watching, and I'll keep doing some of these can you imagine videos from time to time. Till next time, guys, cheers.